Welcome to the Geeks 31 Days of Horror for Halloween. This is Lil.
And this is Steve.
And tonight we're reviewing In a Violent Nature, a Shudder produced exclusive movie, but it was released in theaters.
From 2024.
Yeah, 2024.
And Sean's not with us, so do you have the trailer?
I do not have the trailer.
Neither do I.
Well, there you go. So we will go with the synopsis for this film. When a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurned on by a horrific 60-year-old crime, his body is resurrected to search for the locket. This stars nobody I don't think anybody would know, so just not really even going to go through the names here. But yeah, so Steve, what did you think of In a Violent Nature?
I'd heard a lot about this movie, heard a lot of people talk about it, heard some spoilers, but heard a lot of opinions that were kind of all across the board. I was actually not really looking forward to watching this because of most of what I had heard. I thought for sure this wasn't going to be something I was going to like. And there are definitely problems with the movie. There are issues that I have. There are a lot of things that I think could have been wrapped up a little bit. I don't think this needed to be as long as it was. And we could talk about that in spoilers where I think they kind of extended things a bit. But I did find myself really smiling a lot with a few scenes in particular where it just felt awesome to be in a movie like Friday the 13th from a different perspective. Being with the killer, walking up on somebody getting the exposition, knowing how this movie would have been filmed from a different perspective and seeing how these would be the main characters. All this would have all led up to this big moments, but you're not following any of that. You're following the killer through most of this. I had a lot of fun with it. I actually quite enjoyed this movie quite a lot. Some of the kills are very, very memorable. I mean, especially the yoga kill. We'll talk about that in depth, I'm sure, when we get into spoilers, but very memorable kill. I wasn't expecting the log machine, so
I was disappointed in the log machine.
The log machine went long again a little. Like it's almost like they. What's getting into spoilers? But they went into too long with some stuff, but I really liked it. And from some research a little bit here, this movie was written and envisioned as, from what I could tell, don't quote me, but a Friday the 13th treatment that was turned down, turned away, what have you, from the state, and they had to rewrite a little bit of it to make this. Now, this is just what I've heard and glommed on from here and there, hearsay, but I'd like to think, because you could totally see this as that. You could just, it just Jason comes out instead of this fucking guy. Everything else is the same. It's a lake. There's a cabin. It's the woods.
And he kind of looks like Jason, except until he gets his mask.
He has the same clothes, the same face, different mask. Yeah. So. I'm going to give it a high sidekick, but through talking about it, depending on how our conversation goes, I may be swayed into a hero. But the problem is the problem is that there's too many. I think like the ending for me, the last 25, 30 minutes really bring it down out of that hero territory. So that's where I'm at.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the high sidekick, and it's twofold, right? Like, and I guess I understand it, because if everything is from the killer's point of view, if we're just following the killer the entire time, which we see here, right? Like a lot of walking, which was interesting, but then it became just a lot of walking in the quiet. All you're listening is the brush, because there's no score, there's no music, there's nothing. Which, again, I appreciated that, because that's the perspective we're getting. We're not getting movie, we're getting point of view. But the problem is when you shift from that point of view multiple times away, it took me out of that perspective. Because all of a sudden now I'm following people that I had no idea who they are, or what they're talking about, and then the killer shows up. So I kind of didn't like that. I thought that if you're going to go for it and do it all. But they didn't. Too many scenes of that, especially the ending. And I think that's what killed it for me, the ending. So I'm going to go with the high sidekick because I did enjoy the majority of the kills. Yeah, could this have been put into a better, these inventive kills and, fun kills could have been in a better movie. And that's the thing. It's like, I appreciate the attempt. I appreciate what they did, but it's not top notch. It's perfect for Shudder, right? Like, it's a perfect Shudder movie. If I would have gone to the theater to watch this, I probably would not have been as happy and as engaged. Because again, I go back to that walking in the woods, and it's like, I get it. They did cut it. They did cut. You could see it scenes that were jumping.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Cool. High sidekicks for now. Spoilers.
Let's get into it.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Before we start, because you can edit this out after the spoiler thing, your mic was muffled. It sounded like you were talking through like a...
I can hear me perfect. So
I don't know what it was, but I was like, talk.
Does that sound better?
Yeah. Talk, keep going.
Yeah, we can keep going.
Yeah, no, I was just saying keep talking. Because like it was as you were talking, it was going.
All right, so so I got a bunch of stuff for the toy box. I'm upset that am I muffled?
No. Okay. Sounds much better. I just didn't want to interrupt you in the middle of talking, but it was going weird. Okay. So
no problem. All right. 3, 2, 1. So, I mean, already we're in a supernatural plot, right? Like, they take this gold necklace with a medallion on it from a gravesite and awaken Jason.
Well, even the opening,
Jason, but it's Jason.
The opening here is just like, it's a shot of this locket and you're just hearing people talk. It's like a 5-minute static shot. These people are talking and then somebody grabs the locket and walks away. And then you're getting this cool shot of him kind of coming out of the ground. The thing is, like, I appreciate the long takes. I think for the most part, most of them. But some of it just is just like, man, like, can we just... I get what you're doing, and I appreciate it, but it just feels a little egregious at times. It takes them a while to get up and get out of here, and then we're watching them kind of stand around and look around and mosey on, and they're walking and walking and walking.
And the first kill is off screen.
It is, but I liked everything from when he starts hearing him and he's walking up. Like, I like this tension building here. I like the voices are getting closer. He's walking. I'm thinking, how the fuck can nobody hear this loud motherfucker tromping around through the woods and stepping on shit? Nope. He walks. It's awesome to see like him narrowly avoid people seeing him, and how you can see like he's not trying to. He's walking right out in the open and doing shit, but people are just not paying attention.
Right. Well, they're in their own shit. They're in their own thing. The two guys are arguing.
Think about it though. How many times are you walking around? Are you just looking when you're in your own shit? When you're dealing with something, you're not looking all around you, making sure So it's just really cool to see how he's able to maneuver around, and he has a pretty steady pace through most of the movie. And I do, the first kill is off screen, but I thought it was a really cool scene that led up to it.
I did too. I was just disappointed that it was off screen, especially because all I've heard about this is how awesome the kills are. And then like the first
first
kill
is,
off screen.
it should have been a holy shit moment. This is what we're going to be in for. Then do another kill off screen. Who cares? Do the late kill after that.
Or the wood chopper thing.
That was a cool one.
It wasn't though. It took forever. Like he cuts the arm off. I know we're jumping around because like this movie really, the plot is irrelevant. It's just him stalking people,
but you can but the little bit that you get of these kids, this kid group, Troy and the rest of them, the little bit you get of them, you can tell immediately who that guy is this character, that girl is this character, that guy is this, because they do that weird shift of perspective when he comes across them at the campfire, which I know that threw me off too. I don't like the shifts in perspective. I much rather have it all be him, and then you just get the little bits that you need, right? Because later on in the movie, when the ranger guy is with Troy and that girl at the cabin or the little log house thing or whatever, and he's giving them the backstory and telling them this is what I immediately in my mind shifted to another movie of the music and it changing to kind of like a different film style, and like that scene has been done in all these other movies of the ranger or the cop explaining what's happened. You've done this and oh no. And then they turn and he's standing off in the woods and the whole time he's just walking up on it. Like I love that shift of perspective and just having it just stay that way. When this movie, you know how it should have ended? The girl runs off. He picks the locket up, goes back to his fucking log thing house, puts it on the fucking picture frame and lays back down. And then the movie ends. That's how it should have ended. Fuck what went through with the woods. I don't care about, because I know we're jumping, but like I'm going to do it really quick before we start talking about some shit that we liked about it, because this whole, as soon as it shifts perspective to the girl running through the woods, and then we get her fucking for another 10 minutes of running through the woods. Then she runs into this lady and she's got a 20-minute story about a fucking bear. Who gives a fuck about any of this? All of that, get it out of here. Get it out of here. I don't need any of it. I don't want any of it. Like,
and then the vague ending, right? Like, because she's there, you see the lady trying to fix her leg, then you hear the flies, and then it just shifts to all over the forest. You see the necklace is gone because she left the necklace on the gas can. Did he go back? Is he still after her? Well, is he there?
And then you're waiting for like something, and it doesn't give it to you. And I get why, right? Why would it? Of course it's not going to give it to you. That's not the kind of movie this is. But I still don't like it. I know what it was doing.
Isn't it the kind of movie this is? Because this movie has been gruesome, right?
No, but I don't.
Shouldn't we get an end kill, or at least the girl getting away? Well, not some vague art house bullshit. That's not what this movie is.
I mean, well, it is. It's been walking through the woods and changing lighting slightly, so you can tell it's been a few hours. And now all of a sudden, smash cut, there's different trees and higher grass. So, it felt like walking for a while.
It felt like it went from a slasher to like an art house douche movie. Like that's what it was. This is I
didn't. I wouldn't. Yeah. The whole bear story, the old lady. I need to fix her leg up. All this is all
dumb. Like
staring off into the woods. Have him fucking turn. Have him fucking. He walks by something. Okay, even if it's that. But like
Shadow.
To have nothing. Now you've wasted my time. You've wasted my time.
I was not happy with this ending. I do think that the hate that it was getting is probably because of the ending.
100% has to.
I didn't hear anything about this. Like I heard in the beginning was, like the movie's perspective, and I saw one trailer. And then I have not followed it since until I saw it on other means, and then I was like, "Hey, Steve, let's do this." And your response was, "Okay."
Yeah, I'm like, "Well, we should. We probably should." So some of the kills that I liked. I liked the saw blade through the face.
Yeah, that was good.
Wrapped around the tree until the fucking top of his head fell off. I thought that was awesome because then he dragged his body, and then when he threw his body into the case to get the mask and
Get
the
the
hooks
mask.
and shit out. Like I thought that was brutal. But then it's followed with like a weird 5-minute static shot of him putting it on kind of through the window and then walking out and taking forever. So like that's the part where I'm like,
And again, not his perspective. It's again, it takes you out, right?
I don't mind this. I don't mind shots like this because there's nobody else around. It's just you're seeing it, it's him doing it's. This is a scene you never. Like, this is the scene you never see in the horror movies. Is like them walking out of the room, and I get like, who cares, right? That we don't see it because we don't care about that. But it's nice to have a different perspective. The kill in the water, I thought was actually really cool because the way he just walks in.
Yeah, I like that. That was a very Jason move.
And then she's just swimming there, and then boom, she drops, comes up for a quick second. Down and then floats, and I was like, that's real. That's like if you were watching from the fucking side, like that's pretty good. Yeah. Like it's not necessarily on screen, but not off screen. It's kind of a cheat kill, but I thought it was well done. And then you immediately move into the best kill of the movie, the yoga kill, which I thought was incredibly conceived, well executed, memorable. Highlight this movie that scene, this scene alone almost makes up for all of the movie's misgivings because that's one of those scenes you're never going to forget.
No, it was on par with the first Terrifier where he saw the lady from the JJ down their head. Like
it's on par with the best. It's up there with Jason X and the freezing the face and smashing the head. It's up there with
having a hook. Your head pulled through your body, twisted.
And the only reason that worked is because she was up there doing yoga and she's limber. She stretched herself out. That's the only it was just incredible. Like her reaction to getting the hook jammed through. Like she turns around and like there's a cliff. Like she's just fucked. I probably would have like died worse because maybe not worse, but like I would have tried to dive to the side or something, but she just accepts her fate and doesn't even react really when the hook, his whole arm almost goes through her.
Yeah.
And then she just basically turns around staring at him, and then he hooks her right through the head, flips her around, yank. And it just kept going. There was a long scene. It was fucked up, dude.
He needled the thread. That's what he did right there.
And then he kicked her over the cliff. It was just wild shit. It was wild shit, dude. I was just like, oh my God. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
High bar, high tier stuff right there. And then after that, that's when he kind of like, we get the scene of him without the mask. We get the full shot of his face. Because he finds that toy car. You realize, you get the whole backstory. The backstory was he was a special needs kid, got tricked, fell off a water tower, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Fire watch tower. And then his dad got killed, something like that. I was kind of checking in and out on their story because I was not really enjoying it.
That's my problem. Like, the plot and the story is not great. It's just the scene kills. It's
a you know what it is? It's a generic killer origin story is what it is. It's hitting all the basic beats that you get. We watched Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. He told how they make these in that mockumentary.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, you have to have this, and this, and that's exactly what this movie did.
It's true.
He takes the mask off. He's playing with his car. He's got a grotesque face. And then
the two guys are there, and then
did you notice that he sets the trap, right? He puts the fucking car on, and the whole movie he has had one pace, one tempo, very consistent. Yeah. The second he puts that on, he's boogieing. He's fucking power walking around that house. He's trying to catch them on. He's trying to scare him. He's like, he puts that thing. I was like, doo, 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 doo. He's fucking wiggling around that house. And I love that scene of him walking past the window and that one guy in the house being like, what the fuck? Like, because I didn't know if that was a goof at first. I thought that was kind of cool. And then I thought this scene was great. I thought it was really cool how he gets shot, but then sits up and just hooks that fucking that
Just
axe.
nail it with the axe. Yeah, it throws that axe, hits that guy right in the head who's trying to help the other guy who was injured.
I love knowing how easy it was to do it, right? Like how easy it was. Like he stands up, the actor, he throws the axe, he walks over, the guy's already laying down. He's got the fake axe in the back of his head. The camera's just following. It's a very easy shot to make, but it's so good. It's so effective. Like it just, it's awesome. What I didn't
like. And then he
like,
picks up a giant rock.
Put your fucking hands up. Do something.
Well, not even that. Not even that. I kind of didn't like that just the head exploded like that.
He literally like put his head out further. He's like, just get it right over here.
Yeah. I mean,
but it was fine. That was fine.
It's fine.
I like the axe in the back of the head that you didn't see. I liked how that all played out. The rock, weird how an off-screen kill is actually more effective than the on-screen kill in that particular circumstance.
In that scene, yeah. In that scene for sure.
But
that was probably my second least favorite kill because again, I didn't like the wood chopper because it was so slow with the cop because the cop was already basically dead.
And then you also saw the cuts there too with like him walking in front of the camera and then when it cut back like the cop was really blurry.
The dummy, yeah.
The dummy arm you could see like.
And then like why did he chop the arm off? Like, why didn't he just go right for that?
It took a long time. Yeah, I thought, like, throw him in there, like, his whole body on there. Like, cut him in half.
That's what I thought. He was going to cut him, like, lay him, like, there, like, between the legs. Slice
I thought they were just going to just lay him over it, cuts him in half.
Yeah, well, I was hoping
but
a groin shot.
Instead, it took forever. You know,
20,
egregious. Like, put his head on, when they put the head on there, great. Like, if it would have gone from dragging him in there, because that was fucked up when he fucking broke his spine, so he's like paralyzed and he can't fucking move, but he's like is very aware of everything happening, and he drags him in there. All this is great. Turns that wood chopping machine off, shows how it chops the wood. Great stuff, building tension. Then the arm thing. You get rid of the arm thing, now we're in business.
Yeah, it's a better scene. Just too long.
The arm thing was just too long. But I also thought Troy's death here was awesome after that. He's like, hey, you ugly son of a bitch. And he just turns around and gets fucked up. That guy just cuts him into a million pieces. Well, his head area. Yeah. But that's the last we see of Johnny, though. It ends with him just continuously pummeling this guy with the axe.
Yeah, because then the girl runs away. The girl leaves the necklace and runs away. And then we get this crazy ending that we've already talked about. So, like, again, like, you could almost turn the movie off at that scene.
100%.
Like, if you're watching this at home,
when she puts the necklace on the gas can and runs into the woods, push stop. That's it. Yeah. Walk away from the movie. The movie's much better at that. If it just ends there, it's only about an hour long, so you're not even in that far. But it gets that 33 extra minutes from this rest of this bullshit in the credits. So
there you go. So again,
the highs are high, but the lows are low.
Yeah, I give them credit for trying something different with a basic slasher supernatural story that we've seen, Friday the 13th make, a dozen sequels off of, right? Like we've seen not every Halloween movie, but certain Halloween movies fit this mold. But some really, really inventive kills. So I'll give them credit for that. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it. That's it. The Violent Nature. So there you go. This is Lil.
And this is Steve. And until tomorrow night, everybody, keep it creepy.